everyone. Welcome back. Hey, you know what? We're going to sneak one in here before lunch for you. I've interviewed this gentleman before. I'm going to give him a quick couple minutes here. Johnny Shaieb. Johnny, welcome, man.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's good to see you another
back
year.
Here.
Yeah.
Yep. Johnny, for people who are not familiar, give them a quick background on you.
So my name is Johnny Shaieb. I'm the chief architect and global delivery lead of exposure management at IBM. And one of my passions is I'm almost finishing up a PhD in cybersecurity where I'm doing the whole history of vulnerability databases and scoring. And what was really interesting last year in San Diego, when we were walking down the hall, and you could see like the whole history of Qualys.
Yeah, I remember that wall, yeah.
And it's by no surprise that, Qualys has been around for over 25 years, and so has CVE. And so a lot of people don't recognize that Qualys was one of the not original, but early board members of the CVE editorial board.
Yes. I remember those days, right? There you had Foundstone, EI, Qualys. Rapid7 wasn't even done yet. It wasn't even born yet. Tenable was Nessus. I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, there was Cisco and Microsoft.
Cisco was involved, yep. Johnny, I want to, because I know time is short, I wanted to ask you to quickly define for our audience, in your mind anyway at least, the difference between vulnerability management and exposure management.
So this is really an interesting journey. That's why I brought up the history, is because when we started, Qualys was just a tool. And then we saw it, over the years become a platform with siloed tools. And now it's a platform where you have a whole bunch of different abilities to scan multiple different scan attack surfaces that uses predictive analytics to connect everything together. So vulnerability management is really that traditional CVE, and then helping a client migrate, from web application scanning to policy compliance to the next best thing. And what's also interesting, in 2022, Gartner came out with CTEM, Continuous Threat Exposure Management. And one of the things that Qualys does really well is ETM, being able to ingest multiple data sources to provide the most expensive thing in vulnerability management. And that's really normalization, going and ingesting multiple data sources and enriching them. And that's how Qualys saves time, money and time with clients that have, that are trying to define the battlefield. And the battlefield has always been asset inventory, but trying to figure out where that asset inventory is. Could be in ServiceNow, it could be in a remediation team, could be in Tanium, could be in Qualys, all different sorts of places.
Absolutely. That was great. I think the audience will appreciate it. Let's now bring it over to ROC, to this risk operations. Because to me, I've been in security 25, 30 years too, Johnny, and we seem to have forgotten maybe that security is about managing risk.
Yeah.
It's not about eliminating every vulnerability, mitigating every exposure. It's about making decisions about where we should make our bets, because we may not be able to do everything. How does that fit into your timeline view, if you will?
Yeah. Like going back 25 years, not until 2004 was there a CVSS score.
Right.
So Qualys got into severities of critical, high, medium, and low, and then CVSS came in. And, at the time back then, it's a venerated score, but we needed to move to severity, how bad something could be, to the probability or the likelihood, and that's where true risk comes in. But I had a little spin for ROC. Not only does it stand for Risk Operations Center, but it could stand for Remediation Orchestration Center. Wouldn't it be cool if we had this tool, which we really did, which we really do now, but to have this tool, this platform, not a tool, a platform that has the ability to go and identify a vulnerability, manage the life cycle of a vulnerability from its initial identification, assigning a ticket, and then being able to remediate.
Yeah.
And that's really what the power of Qualys. I know, like, it's, it's very branded to risk, but it's one of the only vulnerability management platforms that allows you to fix
But yeah, I'm trying to
all the
remember
elements
what
of
is
a vulnerability.
not the DVM. They do have a name for what they have that does that. And I just don't remember the initials, the acronym right now.
The what?
The acronym for the like total life cycle
Oh,
fixing.
SDLC. Yeah.
No, that's
No,
for no. It's just specific
but
to a Qualys
okay.
product where you track finding the vulnerability to
Yeah.
remediation to.
Well, that's really special because not only is it's a platform of risk and orchestration, but it's really a governance tool as well. And again, it's like, wouldn't it be cool if you had the ability to provide that governance by assigning accountability? How do you do that? By tickets. But you can't assign that accountability tickets unless you can fix somebody's asset inventory. So what's neat about CSAM is now you have the ability to go and tag and bag assets and quals, creating kind of like a poor man's database, if you will, and enriching and fixing ServiceNow. Then what happens? Now you drive down vulnerabilities because you just were able to assign tickets to somebody. So now you have this risk operations center that you use for governance, that you also use as an orchestration platform. It's the trifecta.
And you can have agents run all of that.
Yeah.
Johnny, we're about out of time.
Well,
We're going to
thank
get
you
our next one.
so much for giving me
Let
it.
me ask you, if we see you next year, you can have your PhD done or what?
I will.
Good for you. We'll call you Dr. Johnny then.
Hopefully.
All right.
Thank you
Johnny
so much.
Shaieb here at Qualys ROCon. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.